There is a bill that looks like it will get done, and we will end the government shutdown hopefully as soon as Friday. And a lot of that's because of pressure on congressmen to get this resolved quickly because Thanksgiving is coming up and people have to travel. Huge amount of pressure right now to get something done in government, to get the government reopened so we get air traffic controllers back to work, etc. Now, again, this funding bill will only take us through the holidays, right? We'll be right back in the same mess in January. Bills are going to have to try to get written to meet everybody's goals and objectives and fund the government for the rest of the year. So again, while we may get a very brief reprieve from now the longest shutdown on record, well, it may not last very long, but at least get us through the holidays so everybody can travel, enjoy their holidays, then we come back and deal with this mess next year. But again, this is process being done. That also means that if we get the shutdown done by Friday and reopen next week, we're going to have a deluge of economic data to go through. So all this data that's been stacking up, from employment numbers to inflation reports, all that stuff, all that's been stacking up, we're going to get all that back data coming out. So we'll get a big catch up on data next week if this is done by Friday. So again, no guarantees yet. Anything can happen, but fingers crossed. Everybody has travel plans for the holidays. Let's get this done. So not surprising, the buy the dip crowd showed up right as expected. And again, just has been something that we kind of continue to see repeatedly over the course of the last couple of years, but in particular this year. And any test of the 50-day moving average has consistently been bought. And again, we continue to see that same process here. You know, a couple of Fridays ago, we had that sell-off, that 2.7% sell-off, touched the 50-day moving average. Buyers showed up there, came down this past Friday, touched the 50-day moving average on Thursday, and then on Friday, nice rally off of that. So again, we're back into this buy the dip mode again, and the markets did get very briefly slightly oversold here. Nothing dramatic, but as we talked about here recently, that's just kind of the way this market is right now. Breadth has been terrible, absolutely. Markets shouldn't be doing what they're doing, but it is what it is, and we're still seeing a lot of that speculative activity in the market. So again, this is not surprising, but this was also last week. Lots of articles out. Every time we have a downturn in technology, it's the death of AI. AI is over. It's all done. There's some reason why AI is done, and then everybody comes and buys them on the dip. Importantly, this has just been the process of the markets that we've been in. And interestingly, though, we talked about when managing your portfolio, have some of that defensive positioning in your portfolio, because during this sell-off, we saw a rotation into those defensive sectors. Technology got very oversold, but a lot of those defensive sectors, the Berkshire Hathaways of the world, the healthcare stocks of the world, those stocks actually performed fairly well last week.
Catch me daily on The Real Investment Show. The link is in the description.